And welcome back to Black Star, everybody. Uh, I believe, our final episode of this particular story. That's not to say we won't come back to Black Star at some point in the future, but for this particular story, I think we're gonna wrap it up, and then this slot opposite Flea's thus far amazing sorcerer game on Wednesdays will be used for something else that I haven't decided on yet. Uh,
Congratulations, I didn't even pay him to say that.
no, he didn't. So, uh, when we last left our intrepid heroes, they were on a Imperium ship that was is, I guess I should say, landed in some kind of alien base slash hangar. Um, some interesting things are going on. They've powered up the alien base. There was a beacon that turned on. They don't really know what's going on with that yet. They assume it's a beacon, I should say. Uh, some large, as in larger than a person, drone type machines came from deeper within the base and resumed construction on a quite large alien vessel of some kind that is also than the ship they are currently on. This particular ship is an Imperium assault vessel that somehow found its way here. Kylia recognizes that this particular ship is probably at least a century old, and the alien base was overrun with some Imperium troopers that they managed to activate the defense system of the base to take out those troopers. But now they've discovered that there is a presence on the Imperium ship itself. They boarded the ship. They found some indication of battle between some remaining Imperium troopers and something or someone. I think they have some assumptions who that is. Uh, and they've discovered that there are some life signs both in the engineering section and on the bridge, as well as on the exterior of the vessel. They took a moment to kind of detour into the medical uh, station to gain access to some consoles and find some of this information, where they also discovered what appeared to be two, or no, I'm sorry, it was three corpses that are quite large, anywhere from 1.7 to 2 meters tall, or long, I should say, as they're laid out on these two small medical bay beds. Mercy was a little interested in the readout on one of the computers and got a little bit too close and may have been infected with some kind of alien machine. But everything looks okay, and that's where we find ourselves.
Everything looks okay, or at least that's what we've told him.
Yes. Right. Now we came to the medical bay because we were going to check something out on the panels, weren't we? We were trying to do something, and I've forgotten what was it. Come on.
No, you were gaining access to the ship's systems
Yes.
in order to get a better read on who might be where.
That was it. Yeah, we're looking for Blackwood.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you did pinpoint his comm signature in the engineering section.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because we were going through the debate whether it's engineering or bridge. But just a quick question, because it just reminded me while you were doing your catching us up. We say that this ship is over like 100 years. Is there signs that it's been here for that long, or?
Oh well, that's a good question. You could gain access to the logs on the bridge.
That means going to the bridge.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fine.
Dark and scaly might be on the bridge.
Okay. No, I just wanted to double check, but if there's no immediate sign, then yeah, if we get a chance, then I'll probably check a console when we get to it.
Yeah, it's difficult to say how long it's been here. It from the exterior condition, you would guess that it's been here for a while, but you know that this particular vessel is at least a century old, in terms of like when it was, like when the line was introduced. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. So, you know, ships like this are still in active use by the Imperium today, although they have been slowly replacing their navy over the years. This would fetch a nice price to the right person, or, you know, with the right group of people, could be a perfectly serviceable personal craft, if you could get enough people to run it comfortably. As we discussed last time, you would be able to, you know, with a little bit of tutoring on your part, you would be able to launch and make use of this vessel with just the four of you.
Yeah.
Well, five, if you count Dippy.
Yeah.
But you certainly wouldn't be able to make the most of it. However, you've not yet checked the ship hangar. You know, it's an assault vessel, so it might have a smaller. It's the best way to describe it. I mean, this is an assault vessel. This is essentially a cruiser, but it might have some kind of a smaller vessel. You know, anywhere from a snub fighter up to potentially like a
Shuttle type thing.
bomber type vessel as well in its hangar bay. If you were looking for a ship,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to launch it without this ship being in orbit. But you know, you're not gonna.
Just you watch.
Technicalities.
Okay.
But yeah, you never know. I mean, this from Kylia's point of view, like this is a find. Like this is worth a like this could get you off of this planet and sitting pretty for a long time. And I'm sure that's not lost on Mercy or Vero or Wraith either.
I thought Callie had already taken possession of it, actually.
Well, she has.
I called dibs.
She did call dibs, that's true.
In my defense, nobody else knows how to fly it, so I have priority dibs.
That's not exactly true. I mean, everybody
fly
has
just
some
badly.
flight ability. Yeah. But
Skill of one, I might
you
be
would
lucky.
at this point you would need to have all of you working together to launch this thing.
Yeah.
And it is still powering up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we were going to try and do something about it powering up.
Yeah, engineering, because that's where Blackwood is. There was another signal in engineering, but that we would also be able to slow things down. But we got distracted by things.
Dead bodies. Yeah. Okay. So when we head to engineering, we'll get at Blackwood. Maybe if you want to sabotage the ship, we can do that there too. I'm figuring our pal isn't there because Blackwood. I mean, we have not heard from Blackwood in a while, have we?
But he told us
No.
to shush, though, didn't he?
He did. He sounded like he was being pursued.
When he was hiding.
It could be dead. We don't know. But Mercy, like you feeling okay? Like you're good?
Yeah. Wraith said it was fine.
I'm just nodding in the background.
Okay.
And as stated last session, yes, there is a significant clump of these nanomachines just kind of in Mercy's heart now, but they have stopped reproducing.
They're waiting. Like Chuck Norris.
No, they're waiting like Tuck Pendleton.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
So
should we
the
head out?
yeah. Do we know where engineering is from here?
Yes, yeah, you can get there quite easily. You'd have to go back the way you came, past the
Security.
signs of a battle.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. I mean, there's a good chance that Blackwood might still be alive. We should probably help him out. He's gonna pay us after all.
Well,
no,
yeah.
you all
he is
have a
quite good at
decent amount of
keeping out the
trinkets with
danger.
you at this point. You would be able to make way with those pretty easily.
What was that? Sorry.
You all have a decent amount of trinkets, according to my notes. I mean, you'd
Yeah.
have to find a buyer,
Yeah.
which Blackwood was going to do, but you have enough that you'd be able to make a pretty decent buck on this venture. Although I don't think that would satisfy Kylia.
So it's just whether we follow our moral compass.
Yep.
I mean,
The
do we have one of
ultimate
those?
question. I mean, I guess. But now we're on the ship, like, we're gonna have to do something.
Now she's on the ship, she's measuring it up for carpets.
Okay.
So
let's
heading
not.
to engineering.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where we're going.
Engineer-
We're gonna go.
Okay. Getting there is no trouble. Again, you had to go through some of the signs of battle in the security zone. Traveling further aft, you see signs of rooms being searched. If you just kind of glance left and right, I mean, there are cabins and such, and it looks like in some of those locations, some of the chairs have been tumbled over, and there's signs of people opening lockers and closets and things like that. Clearly, people have been through here searching for someone. When you reach the engineering door, Kylia notices right away that there's a bit of a problem, or could be a problem. I mean, it's not an issue right now, but the bulkhead doors for the engineering bay had been sealed. And I say had because it looked like someone has used some kind of an arc welder or device to essentially cut a hole through these bulkhead doors.
I wonder what that could have been.
So that if if there were a problem with the reactor, uh, it wouldn't be separated from the rest of the ship at this point. Like a radiation leak or something like that would definitely spill out into the main ship with the bulkhead doors damaged like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, when
Just
somebody's powered up
as
the
a bit of
ship.
a side note,
Yeah.
somebody is powering up the ship. Yes, I mean, assuming normal operation, unless Kylia can check her stuff, if you want to, and you'd be able to see very easily by looking at any of your scanning devices that there's no indication of radiation or any ill uh, emanations at this point. I'm just saying, if that were to become an issue, having a big old hole in the bulkhead doors would be a problem.
Look at
Nothing
that.
a few iodine tablets can't fix.
100 years and no leaks. They don't make them like they used to,
It's true. All those newfangled ships, you've heard tell that they run out after 5-6 years. But
Okay.
this is a workhorse.
With big
Must
guns.
be must be a conspiracy. Big starship, to make people keep paying to get their
That's
ships
it, yeah.
repaired.
Must be.
Built-in obsolescence. That's
Yep.
what they've gone for. Okay. I'm going to step through the gap that's been
Okay.
burned through this door.
Yeah, so you have to duck your head a bit. It's
Yep.
it's maybe slightly more than a meter tall. Maybe a meter. No, it's about a meter tall. I mean, you're gonna have to kind of shimmy through there,
Yeah.
and about a meter wide. This is not a full wide open doorway.
No. That's fair enough.
So you will be vulnerable as you're kind of crawling through this.
I mean, we can't hear anything inside, can we?
Aside from the thrum of the reactor, no.
Okay. I will carefully step through the
Okay.
the gap with guns drawn.
Okay. And kind of taking a look about, I assume.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and give me an instinct check?
Oh no!
First roll of the game.
A roll. Okay.
Favorite stat.
And it 2d6 plus. Oops. Plus 3. How? 13.
Nice. Very good.
Nice.
With doubles, no less.
Double.
I don't remember if doubles do anything. Thinking about it. Oh, pretty much only in combat.
Okay.
Oh.
That would have allowed you to kill 2 more minions.
Wow.
Yeah. So with your abilities, you would have killed a total of 4 minions in one combat round. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's an excellent roll. And while you're certainly not a starship person, looking around the room, you can see that everything looks to be fairly well in repair. It looks like some cabinets and some closets, consoles, perhaps that have maintenance bays have been opened and kind of haphazardly shut, but not actually closed again. If you catch my meaning, not to like latch, but just kind of. I didn't find anything and just kind of push close.
Is it kind of getting the impression that somebody is searching for something? I mean, we've seen these. Some of the
Yes.
other rooms have been ransacked, and so these are
S-
okay. I don't see anybody in here.
And just as you say that, you do hear the thunk of boots on metal grating deeper in the engineering bay.
Okay.
It's a pretty densely packed bay, but it's large, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
the reactor takes up the majority of the central space. And, just for ease of reference, imagine like, I'm sure everybody's seen some version of Star Trek with the reactor core in the engineering bay. Like
Yeah.
it's behind some kind of shielding, some kind of transparent shielding. It is slowly thrumming to life, quite large, multiple stories. But the rest of the bay itself is not quite so clean as what you would see in Star Trek. There's tubing and conduits and consoles. You can't see, but you definitely heard the distinct sound of someone walking.
Okay. And in that case, I hold up my hand and hold on. I hear someone. Can I tell which direction it came from?
Just aft, further back into the bay. Probably on the other side. You would guess on the other side of the reactor. The reactor is charged to the point that you can't, although the shielding is transparent, you can't really see past it. So unless they come to one side or the other along the main gangways, they won't see you,
Okay.
whoever it is.
I'm going to make my way along the through the engineering bay, then a little way, see if I can identify who this person is.
Okay. So
If anybody's
there is
following.
I guess I better duck through the door and follow him just in case.
there's a primary gangway on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the reactor. And it is actually 3 stories worth. So there are ladders that go up to a second level from where you are, and then a third level above that. The third level is kind of looks to be quite a bit more cramped. You would imagine if you were able to kind of remove this section of the ship and kind of look at it in kind of a 3D wire frame, it would be very cylindrical with you kind of at the long end of the cylinder.
Yeah.
So beneath you, there's probably some crawl spaces that kind of round down to the bottom, and then, like I said, up to the top, there's a relatively cramped area. Now that said, you don't necessarily have to use the main gangways. If you wanted to uh, potentially hinder and hamper your own movement, you could kind of go off the main path, as it were, and kind of move around amongst the conduits and behind the consoles. You could maintain cover, but it might be difficult for you to move.
Mm.
Hmm.
If I want to do that, don't want to get
Okay.
caught in any enclosed spaces.
Gonna say it sounds good, but if you're cramped up, how are we going to run away?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Wraith, you've climbed through. Vero is still on the other side, kind of watching your six. What's Kylia doing?
I will follow, and go in.
Okay. So once you climb through and step to the side, Vero also comes through, kind of keeping his attention more out the hole, down the corridor, as it were.
Yeah.
And indicates to you all that, if you need him, he'll follow, but somebody needs to watch your backs too.
Okay.
So the signal
Still a
for
large contingent of people in the bridge.
yeah. The signal for Blackwood, was that just? It wasn't like a pinpoint. It was just in this general area, was it?
No, I mean it's not a pinpoint, but he's in this section,
Right.
right? So
Okay.
very clearly delineated into sections. And although there are, as you can imagine, again, Star Trek, aliens, there are essentially maintenance areas that can connect those locations. It's still very clearly in this section. So he could be in any number of kind of nooks, crannies in
Yeah.
this very dense ship section.
Okay. No, I just wanted to double check that. So I think,
And that was as you left the infirmary, right?
yeah.
So didn't take you that long to get down here. Your best guess is he's probably still down here somewhere.
Question
could
is,
very
where's
well-
he hiding?
Could be the person we can hear.
Could be.
Okay. So we're not going into the crawly spaces.
Okay.
Stay on the
Are you
catwalk.
both? Are you all going to kind of move up one side, or are you going to split up and kind of pincer, or what do you think?
As I say, I'm hugging the left wall.
The left wall.
The left wall.
So
It's
you're going out among the conduits and the consoles then?
It's yes, I will inch
Okay.
in that direction.
You'll definitely have some cover and protection and it'll be easy for you to hide. But you probably won't move as quickly as someone moving along the main pathways. Sure.
I'm gonna move along the main gangway. And I'm gonna try and be as quiet as I can.
Left or right of the core?
I'm gonna go along. Race going to the left, right? So I'm gonna go along the left hand of
Okay.
left hand side.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and unless
if anything bad goes wrong, I'll cover you with my
I mean, very
amazing,
quickly,
with my
unless
amazing
Wraith is
shield ring
clumsy.
and my laser cigarette lighter.
Gang.
Yeah, unless Wraith taps on a console or is overly clumsy, like it's very difficult for you to see where he is, but he moved off kind of into the
Yeah.
jumble.
And when I'd have been
on the
doing that, hey,
left.
where you going? As he was wandering off, and then I would have followed him. And then probably lost him amongst all of these.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and make sure that I can still keep an eye on Mercy and the others.
Okay. So yeah, you can every few steps, you can see a little bit of the main pathway, and with a little bit of kind of jockeying for position amongst all the dense machinery and electronics and whatnot, you can see what's going on out there. Yeah, you might have a hard time targeting anything on that main pathway, but you can see.
I think I'm gonna be following Mercy. But these conduits and everything, is there any
Yeah.
like connection point or anything, or is that going to be further in? I'm thinking more for like Dippy.
Oh, I mean, pretty much every console you pass has a place where he can connect. Is there anything in particular you want him to try and do?
It's just to try and slow down the startup, but it's basically I want to know if there's somebody in here. We need to make sure that they're not gonna, find him straight away.
Well, at this point, unless they're coming up the other side, they would have to get past you to get to Dippy if you let him focus on one of the consoles.
Yeah, so I think I'll let him go to a console.
Okay.
Direct him to maybe a little bit out of the way, and for him to have a look at what he can do.
So, what kind of information about the reactor powering up are you looking for?
More
You
of
want an exact count of how long? Are you trying to get it to shut down?
yeah, I think the goal is to get it to shut down.
Okay. Interesting. Go ahead and make a transports roll for him.
So
Dippy.
I think it's fine. He didn't check.
Not for you, for Dippy.
Transports Dippy. Nine.
Ooh.
Okay. So he indicates to you through your communicator, your pad, that enables you both to kind of communicate at a distance as you continue. I'm assuming you're continuing to move forward with everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, hang on 1 second. I'm going to go
Yep.
off mic for just a sec.
No worries.
If I can figure out how to do it here. I just want to mute.
I mean, I am assuming that we want to turn this off.
Well, I mean, you know better than the rest of us what we want to do in this regard, I think.
I know, but the way you said interesting is just.
It was kind of like, I think I'll turn it off.
I didn't want to give him any ideas, but if we turn it off, does that mean that somebody's going to come along here to see what's switched it off?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was like
Yeah.
about the other guy, but
Does
Yeah.
that also mean, like, if we turn it off, does that mean we're going to have to, like, if something goes wrong, we need to get out of here, we decide to use the ship, how long is it going to take to restart it?
I reckon that Kayla and Dippy can get it working really quick.
With his utility finger.
I reckon so.
yeah.
Yeah, I reckon so.
I gave it another good name last time, and I'll be damned if I can remember what it is.
No, I think utility finger was the correct term that you used. So what was the question? Are you wondering how long it would take to power back up?
Yeah, we were just contemplating like whether it was the right move, and if we needed to get away, like if we could do it quicker to power it up. But
Okay, I will remind you that there is apparently a beacon that's pulsing up in the the one place, control room of the base.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't think I've been told about that.
He mentioned.
You may not have.
He did mention it in the kind of like last time in Darkstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know that either of you have told her about it.
No.
Mercy won't.
We literally just met up on this ship and we've been sneaking around.
Right.
Right. Anyway, When the ship powered up, this beacon started flashing. You know those kind of like beacons that make like everybody come running towards it so that they can see what's happening. It was kind of like one of those, but alien.
Okay.
The
One of
the
those, but
question
alien.
the question is, it's like you know those three rather tall chaps who are in medical with holes in them.
Yeah.
Are there any more of them in suspended animation on this ship, and how long will it be before they wake up, if there are?
That's a very good question.
This particular ship doesn't have facilities like that.
Go for that.
So unless they're just kind of like stacked in a storeroom,
Yeah.
Oh God, David.
it's unlikely.
So
Hmm.
it's
And
just
there's only the one infirmary.
it's just click. This is a Imperium ship, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
With 3 alien corpses on it
Yeah.
that may or may not be corpses for much longer.
Yeah.
Because they're repairing themselves.
They are.
Bodies come from? Why are they so fresh?
Okay.
Is it too late to tell Blackwood I want nothing to do with this deal?
We got to find him and stop him from getting killed before we can tell him that.
Yeah.
Hopefully stop him from being killed before he pays us.
I mean, he had no intention of paying us.
So if he's not, if he right, in a heroic kind of way, because I know we're supposed to be heroes. If he has no way of paying us, I will totally heroically stamp on his face. Right then, with that, I shall slowly, keeping pace with the others, keep creeping through these banks of equipment.
Okay. Hmm.
I keep an eye out so that if it looks like anything is going to go wrong and anything with guns appears, I can drop a shield in front of them, or leap out and drop a shield in front of them.
Right, right.
Because I've just remembered that I actually have to be there to put a shield in front of them.
Well, I mean, you have to be close-ish, right? But yeah, it's more like you're popping it up, and you have to be in front. Like you can't project it at a distance. If that makes sense.
It's like just keep them busy while I clamber over the server unit. It'll be fine.
Okay.
So,
yeah. We're
go ahead.
making our way forward. Do you see where Wraith went?
I mean,
This crash
I don't know.
clatter, crash clatter noise coming from one side. He tripped over something.
Gonna get himself killed. Okay, so these footsteps, have they stopped? The ones we heard earlier?
No, actually, as you head further back, you can definitely hear them more clearly. So it sounds like somebody is not aimlessly, but definitely like moving around, stopping. As you go further, you can hear like the creak of like doors opening or locker like that.
Somebody's still searching for something.
So it's either
Or
someone
someone.
I say it's either someone or something looking for something, or someone or something doing a job, because they're
Yeah.
stopping
So
at
why don't
panels.
all three of you make a speed roll for me?
Speed roll.
Do I even have that stat?
Speed.
Two dice. 2d6.
6.
12.
Okay. And
7.
5. Oh,
plus
7.
2 is
Okay, you have
7.
speed of 2. Gotcha. Um, so as it stands, hey, thank you. Unless Tony and Wraith want to spend some resolve, you're all going to fail because you're doing this together.
Or your resolve should be at max again now, right?
Oh
It
yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe there's no carelessness.
So it's we spend it. So this isn't one of my talents. So it's spend it to re-roll or.
So you can spend it to re-roll, or you can and then if you re-roll and you are successful, you're successful, no big. Or you can just succeed, but there will be a cost.
Decisions.
Can I re-roll and then do it again? To just succeed if I fail, or is it only once per skill check?
No, you can spend as much resolve as you want.
Okay, I'm gonna try re-rolling first then. There we go, 9.
That's better. But we're still gonna fail.
What about you, Flea?
God. Because I'm feeling adventurous, and it's kind of like the last. I'm going to spend a resolve to succeed, but with consequence.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So
Is that gonna be?
as
Just
sorry, go
because I
ahead.
want to see what it does.
No, I was
Just
just gonna.
because you want to test me?
No,
I'm
no.
testing you.
Test my improvisation skills? Joke's on you. Everything is improv.
I'm going to say, can't be
So,
any worse than mine. Come on.
so you were saying something though, Tony, before I get to what happens to Wraith?
No, I was just gonna ask. Obviously, if this is a joint thing,
It
does
is. So the way I am kind of running roles like that now, particularly since you're all relatively close to each other, and still kind of acting as a party. I mean, you're in the same area.
Yeah.
All of you have to succeed or all of you fail. However, because Flea is spending to succeed, you do all succeed. So you are all still stealthy.
Yeah.
It's just something else is going to happen to Flea.
Okay.
Ooh.
So he's not going to give you away, but he is going to have to deal with something.
Okay.
I'm going to tread on a rubber duck, aren't I?
A landmine.
It's like creep, creep.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's a clown horn on the floor that I didn't see.
No. You're still hidden too. So, where we're at, just so that I've got all right in my head, because nobody said anything differently. Vero is still back at the door,
Yep.
keeping an eye on the corridor.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think that would be the best bet because he can.
Okay. Dippy is some ways behind you. Again, this is a very large section. Dippy is some ways behind you at a console, looking at a device. He made his roll. Did you tell him to shut it down or no?
Yeah,
Like
I
he
mean,
basically tells you like I can cut it off or I can just monitor it. What do you want me to do?
um,
No pressure, Tony.
you know, I'm gonna go with what I first said because it was only afterwards that I thought probably
Yeah.
not. So I'll go with what I first said and tell him to shut it down.
Okay, so Dippy has ceased power up, and so the ship is basically like on cooldown, right?
Yeah.
It's not instantaneous. There is still a significant amount of power charge built up, Um, you think if you needed to, you could probably kind of pick up where you left off. Dippy indicates to you that the ship was only about 5 minutes from full power.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh.
Now, Wraith, as you are traveling along in the guts of the engineering section, the first thing that you notice is you stumble over and catch yourself. You don't make a lot of noise, but you stumble over a Imperium trooper. They are, and when you do stumble over them, they groan. They're still alive.
Ooh.
Okay. Um.
The chest, their, I guess I should give you a little bit more information. Their chest plate looks as if they have been shot by a pulse pistol.
That's gone through it. Hmm. Well, I'm gonna have to check him. Is he in any danger of dying?
Yeah, he's not great.
Can I make him advance? Oh, oh, damn it. Right. Once per character per session, I can give them 1 hit point back.
That's
I'm
true.
I am going to use that to try and stabilize him.
Okay. And that is.
I don't want to bring him. I don't want to bring him round. I just want to stabilize him
Sure.
so he's not going
You
to
just
die.
want to stabilize him, and that's your medic ability, correct?
It is.
Okay. So yeah, you take a minute, so you're going to fall behind,
Because
which is exactly the result that I wanted.
I did say during character generation that he would
Did.
try and save the life of everyone he could.
Yes, you did. So you're going to fall behind as Mercy and Kylia continue to move forward, but you are able to stabilize this person. You take off their helmet, and they are, a standard, basic human type, just as you are. Um, People often talk about Imperium troopers being some kind of monsters, but it's just a person. And in fact, it looks to be a relatively young woman who is, as I said, injured, but thanks to you, is now stabilized. And she is resting easily. You've got the blaster shot on her chest patched up, and luckily it seems like her armor has diffused most of the potential lethal energy of that shot, but she was uh, on the verge of dying just from shock and, damage, as it were. So,
Saved in the nick of time.
yeah.
I'm glad. God,
So,
I'm glad because if I didn't manage to save her, where would I send the bill?
that's funny. So yeah, as Kylia and Mercy continue to move forward, you do notice ahead of you as you kind of come around to where you can see past the uh, the drive core that is now kind of in a static state and seems to be losing some of that luminance as it starts to power down. You also see an Imperium trooper with their blaster rifle at the ready. They are kind of checking doors and corners and looking around, clearly searching for something, or as you said, someone.
Yeah. So is he
Sorry,
facing the
carry on.
other way? Like what? I'm just
Now?
thinking, is he facing the other way, or is that direction he's going? Is it going to be all of a sudden that he can turn around and see us? It's like how immediate is the pattern he's doing?
You're currently not in line of sight, but it would just take them turning around to see you.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think
How far away from us is he?
Oh, you know what? Maybe I could use our actual visualization tools we have here. Wait, where are they? There we go. Couple of range bands, probably 20 meters.
Hmm. What a way to get to him then.
okay.
But he has his back. How many bands can you cover in a round?
You can cover one in a round. It will take you, if you want to go quickly, you could kind of double move, but you still wouldn't make it to him.
Okay.
If you want to continue to sneak up, I will allow you to do so with your previous rolls intact.
Yeah, I want to sneak up. So he still has his back to me, I think.
Okay.
My
I mean, we're
intention
not
is
in
to kind of
combat rounds here, so yeah, what's
yeah.
your intention?
The intention is to kind of creep up, kind of behind him, put a
Uh-huh.
gun to his head. Put a gun to his head, and then take his gun from him. If I want him to realize there's a gun stuck at his head.
Sure. Yeah,
And then kind of
that's
reach
no problem.
and take his gun out of his hand, which he will hopefully just let go because there's a gun pointed at his head.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so you do you communicate this to Kylie at all, or are you just gonna start moving up?
I think Mercy's probably acts impulsively, so he probably will have said nothing.
Okay. So Kylie, yeah, you see Mercy start moving forward, still stealthily, but at a bit of a clip. Do you do anything?
I'll just keep following, to be fair. Probably not as fast. Just because I'm
Okay.
a little bit, I'll be at this point I'm more wary than Mercy is. So not as fast, but he's going forward, so I will go forward, keeping an eye out.
Okay. So yeah, you both succeeded, and you had to spend resolve. So we'll let it happen. You creep up behind this trooper. You, kind of tap the side of the helmet with your gun.
Yeah. And so
You
as
say
he looks,
anything?
no, that's the whole thing. I say nothing at all. It's just like a little tap on the side of his helmet with a gun. He kind of looks around, sees the gun barrel pointing in his face, and I just reach out, take the gun out of his hand.
Yeah, and he lets it go,
Yeah.
and you can hear his kind of like staticky, helmetized voice, like, "Oh, what's going on?"
And I just put my finger to my lips and go like that, and gesture to get down on his knees, as it were.
He gets down on his knees,
Okay.
and at this point, he's like, "Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me!"
I just say, "What are you doing here?"
I'm looking for the old man.
Oh yeah, why is that? And I'm taking his. Is he carrying cuffs, like in his uniform? In his, like they got those bandolier belts. I know them talking about
Sure.
stormtroopers.
I mean, he's got a utility belt on. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for something that I can handcuff him with.
No, I
And
mean
also
he's got like utility wire that
Yeah.
you could pull out and wrap up his hands with. Sure.
Yeah. That's what I'll be doing then. Yeah.
Or utility cord, I guess I should say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not really resisting you. He's and in answer to your question, he says the Dark Knight asked me to come search this section for the old man.
Yeah, Dark Knight, huh? I'm looking around. So where is he? Where is he?
He was up on the bridge the last time I saw him.
Okay, that's good news. That's good news. You find the old man? You find him?
No, I haven't found him yet. And then you hear, boy, he was getting close though.
Oh, oh
And
God.
Blackwood pops his head up. It's like, I was wondering when you all would get here.
You're wondering when we would get here? You disappear off on your own like that, and you wonder when we're gonna come rescue you? What the hell, man? We should have left you behind.
Well, I don't know that that's necessary. I was just scouting ahead, is all.
Like, Scout, you realize who's on the bridge, right?
Yes, unfortunately.
What does he want with you?
He wants what I gave to her. What's it, Kylia?
Oh. Oh yeah, he's not getting that.
Where is it?
It's being used.
By what?
I guess its intended source. The fact that this place powered up.
Huh. That makes some sense.
Gonna take this trooper's helmet off so he can't use the communicator or something. I'm assuming they're in the helmet somewhere.
Okay, so you take off his helmet, and he is a young man, probably early to, well, not early, but like mid to late teens.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you doing working for this crazy lizard thing?
Don't have a choice, do I? Something killed my captain and the rest of my squad.
Something
Then,
wasn't him.
well, didn't you see all the bodies outside the ship? Well, I guess there weren't
Oh,
any
yeah.
bodies, were there? I was lucky enough to be under the ship when all the fire started.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. It's tragic.
I don't know anything about that.
So at this point, Wraith, if you continue moving forward after patching up the other trooper, you see Mercy with his gun pointed at a trooper who's down on their knees. You see Blackthorn. Gotta get the name right this time.
Blackwood.
Blackwood.
It's-
Why do I always say Blackthorn?
It's
It's Thorn.
Thorn
Blackwood.
Blackwood. See, you're getting the right words, just wrong order.
I think we should change his name to Wood Blackthorn.
Wood Blackthorn.
Wood Blackthorn. Blackwood Thorn.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's interesting though for Wraith is the trooper that Mercy is pointing his gun at looks very similar to the trooper you just patched up, though male
Oh.
in presentation, in phenotype, I guess I should say.
It's like, cross-gender clones?
Oh, brother and sister, whichever.
Or brother and sister.
Or both.
Ugh, the logical response.
Logic is so overrated.
Ah. Okay. I mean, Mercy hasn't seen this person that Wraith has patched up anyway.
No.
So as Wraith emerges, where the hell have you been?
Saving lives. Where else would a doctor be?
Saving lives? What?
What do you mean?
What are you?
The hell did you go?
I tripped over a trooper with a hole in her chest. Couldn't just leave her there. I had to patch her up.
So yeah, that the trooper turns around like, is she okay?
She's fine. She won't be coming around anytime soon, but she's not in any danger.
And you see his shoulders kind of sink and he deflates a little bit.
Okay. We need to. Are we getting out of here?
So Blackwood says, well, I was hoping we might catch this ride.
What?
So Mercy's like incredulous at this point. Are you serious? You do know who is on this ship, right? We've already been over that.
Well, yes, but now that we're all together, certainly we can overcome him.
I kind of turned to Wraith. He was there the last time we took on that fella, right? He was there, wasn't he?
Technically,
Didn't you hide inside?
I threw him in the van. He just
Yeah, he
kind of
did.
stood. He just kind of like stood there going, who? Almost shot Mercy in the back. I grabbed him by the scruff of his neck and the bottom of his pants and just kind of like yoinked him into the van.
Certainly there's got to be a way to get him off this ship. If you don't think we can defeat him outright.
What we need is bait. I say, looking at Mercy, and then slowly turn my head to look at Blackwood.
Yeah. But Mercy's gaze follows Wraith. Wraith. And an evil little grin appears on his face.
So Blackwood, clearly understanding the meaning of your looks, says, What if I could provide you with bait?
Ah.
That's just what I suggested, wasn't it?
Without you actually using me? Or what if we told him where what he was after is?
Oh.
That would get him off the ship.
But do you really think he's someone that could be, negotiated with?
He's been chasing me for months, looking for that cube. I don't know why.
So you knew this guy would come after you?
Well, yes, that's why I was in a hurry.
Okay. Well,
This guy, and we say, "Hey, the thing you're looking for, it's back on the base there."
It's like all the way over on the other side of the base.
I could convince him he's not unintelligent.
Okay. I mean, anybody else got a better plan?
I mean, if you're going to convince him, I don't.
It's like I'm thinking, like, damn, how unintelligent is he?
Yeah.
Do we stand a
I'm
chance?
just trying to sit there and think, is Blackwood actually the stupid one here? That's the. I can convince him. He's not unintelligent. Okay. Well, lead the way, old man.
Oh, I don't suggest that we meet him in person.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. We just send. We just use the radio, right? We use a communicator and we say, "Hey, man, don't kill us. The thing you're looking for is over in the power center, floor down or whatever, and you just have to go and get it, right?"
Essentially. Do you not think that will work?
Then what?
Yeah.
Then we leave.
With this ship?
Why not?
In its powering down state.
Well, it's kind of paused at the minute. But what about the vehicle we came in? And what about the Imperial?
Which Imperial? The one that Mercy has his gun on?
Well, more like the Imperials on the bridge, and the main
the night guy, the Dark Knight guy, or do you mean?
Oh,
with the crew.
Yeah,
with him out of the way, I think I can persuade them.
You think yourself very persuasive.
Well, I do outrank them.
I knew that
Yeah.
was coming. My God,
What?
Blackwood is a high-class ranker. Not only is a high-class ranker, he's a complete ranker as well.
What do you mean?
So he opens his coat, and you can see that he is wearing a Imperium officer's uniform. And the trooper that you've got on his knees, you can see his arm like almost involuntarily twitch, like he was trying to salute.
Okay.
You're
Wait a
an officer? What?
So he says, "Can we discuss this away from this underling for a moment?"
Disrespect to the rank and file. Wow. I think we
I
should.
mean,
Sure.
I think we should discuss this on the bridge after you old fruit.
I don't know if that's
No,
such a good idea,
I
right?
say that to Blackwood.
Yeah.
So he starts walking away, trying to create some distance between himself
Yeah.
and the trooper that you've got on
Yeah.
his knees
Okay.
tied up.
I'm gonna follow him. I'm gonna follow him.
yeah.
I mean, this
So
better be really good.
look, I'm not safe in the Imperium any longer. I may be able, as you just saw, to pull rank enough to overcome the troops that are on the bridge for now. But you have to get the Dark Knight out of there. He knows my position.
Okay. So word hasn't reached these fellas yet about you.
I don't believe so.
All right. So I mean, this night, is he going to listen to you if you tell him where this device is?
Is there not a way we can prove it to him? As I
Well,
said, he knows how to
the
use the
light,
technology.
the lights are on. Does that count?
He might not know why. And he looks at Kylie. He's like, "Is there no evidence that the cube is down there? Why don't you make a tools roll for me?"
um,
Hmm.
tools. Because he took a scan, but I don't know. 11.
Yeah, so 11. Yeah, I mean, you know that it's putting off a very specific energy signature. And if this Dark Knight is not, as as Blackwood said, unintelligent, if he would just use the ship scanners for a moment, he would be able to determine that the cube is in fact where you say it is.
Okay. So yeah, I'll chime in there and just like, well, I mean, if they put the ship scanners to detect this, the specific energy of the cube, then they should be able to see that the energy is down there and working.
Would he be able to use the ship scanners right now with the ship powering down? The answer to that you would already know is no. You would have to power the ship back up, or at least restart the procedure.
No, the scanners aren't fully operational yet. Um, I'll chime through to Dippy and just basically say on pause.
Okay. So Dippy, I don't know. Is Dippy snippy? Is he sassy?
Probably, yeah.
He's
I
like,
would hope so.
really? You just told me to shut it down.
I know.
But more, it's kind of like
Not
beep,
even like
beep,
5 minutes ago.
beep, beep, boop, boop, but with way more sass.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Rafe and Mercy hear from down the gangway. You hear like louder than normal agitated beep beep boop boops.
My God, without a doubt, with a raspberry noise at the end of it.
Look, I don't know. It's just things are changing. They need some function.
Fine. So yeah, you can tell very quickly that he's restarted the power up procedure as the core starts thrumming again. The question
Oh.
is, did they detect that it was paused from the bridge? And at that moment, you hear blaster fire from the front of the chamber.
That would be a yes.
Oh, Vero.
Okay.
Blackwood looks
okay.
that way and is like, "Where's your friend?"
Oh, Vero. Nah, I'm sure he's fine.
He was watching out.
I'm sure it's nothing.
Yeah, sure.
He's probably just cleaning his gun and slipped. Fine, it's fine.
So, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll draw my guns and start making my way back the way we came towards Vero, I guess.
Okay. Everybody else? Blackwood's coming. He's pulled his pistol.
I'll pull my gun if I can find it in my pocket.
It's in one of your lab coat pockets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but those pockets are huge. Just a minute, hang on. Nope, that's a sandwich.
Oh wait,
Hang
that's
on.
full of alien artifacts. Those
A
pockets are full.
sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So the four of you then are heading back to the front.
Yep.
What about the trooper that you have here? The unconscious one you don't really have to worry about.
Yeah.
She's not going to revive in any
we
amount of time that would be dangerous to any of you.
I'm almost tempted to untie him and tell him to go and save his sister.
And I'm almost tempted to not let you do that. As we're walking off, I'm just saying, I'll just say, you better just lay down and keep your head down. I'm kicking his gun away from him, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, he follows your instructions.
Yeah.
Technically, I can fire that. Can I fire that guy's gun? I can, can't I?
I mean, if you want, I can grab the gun and throw it to Wraith.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna
gun.
do the same amount of damage, but if you want to feel better with a big,
a piezoelectric cigarette lighter at the moment.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this one, it might look a little bit more intimidating than the noise of cricket, right?
Instead of going pew, this one goes whap.
Yeah.
It's much better.
It doesn't go pew. It goes pew.
Because that's the kind of gun mine is the kind of gun where you pull the trigger and it goes ooh.
Yeah.
So Wraith is newly equipped with a Imperium Trooper rifle, and the four of you head to the front. It's a large chamber, so it took you some time to get back here. Are you running, or are you just moving at a brisk pace?
Yeah, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna run, I guess, because Vero's out there by himself.
Blaster fire is happening.
He can handle himself, but
I mean, he's got a pretty solid choke point. I mean, he's got like a meter by meter hole that he's basically able to hold.
The question is, Mercy.
Yeah.
Do you want Vero to get all the glory?
Now, this is the thing. He'll be lording that over us. So I'm gonna,
See,
he'll be able
to get over this story. He'll be able to get drinks and free meals for years.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not gonna allow that. So.
Me neither. All those free
Run
meals.
Him.
So as you rush up, and you notice that Blackwood is keeping pace this time.
Oh.
He he looks more capable now. There's just
Oh,
something about him.
oh God.
Now that his his disguise has been cast aside.
And you pull up and you see Vero just kind of playing peekaboo, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he's on your side of the hole, but he's kind of looking out and taking a couple of shots and stepping back behind the blast door. I mean, these blast doors are significant. It would take an immense amount of fire to blast through these blast doors. And as you are all rushing forward, you might have to kind of watch any stray shots that are coming through.
Okay.
Because these are Imperium troopers. They're not the worst shots in the world, but they're not certainly getting every shot through that meter by meter hole from
No.
however far down the corridor they are. So as you roll up to one side or the other, Vero's like, "Took you long enough."
Yeah. Oh, well, sorry. We were too busy collecting up all the treasure and the reward.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to get in here unless they. And he looks out of the hole. Mercy, do you look out of the hole?
I'd look out of the hole. Yeah.
You see the troopers basically sliding into place with, essentially it's on like repulsor technology, a emplaced heavy repeating blaster.
Oh.
Otherwise known as a BFG.
Yeah. Ah.
Hmm.
You were saying? I look at Vero.
Like we might have a problem.
Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah, we might want to back away from the door, I think. I'm gesturing Wraith and Kayla certainly to back away from the door.
Do you remember if that? Do you remember if that trooper had any grenades?
I didn't check.
You know what?
I was searching through his stuff. Maybe.
It's the finale. I'll say that you've managed to pull one grenade. Normally, you would need a
Ooh.
talent to have a grenade.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
That's a good point.
but I'll let you have one. He had one grenade. However, it is a thermal detonator, and kind of, I mean, Kylie is not quite sure that's the best thing to throw down the corridor of a starship.
No.
Yeah.
Your call, though.
Yeah. So you just Kayla say that to us?
Yeah, because especially if I see like it's still in hand as we're
Yeah.
as the scene unfolds in front of us, like I don't think that's gonna be a good idea.
Oh, you got anything heavier?
No, but no, it's not very good in a spaceship, especially near the reactor.
And I think by the time you've finished that sentence, it's already rolling down the corridor.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
next action may be what is called as diving for cover.
So, yeah, I mean, this would be blasters. Why don't you give me a blasters check?
Oh, okay.
You played it well enough.
Blasting. Oh dear. I might be spending some resolve on this one. I've just got this feeling.
You never know.
That's true. See, come on then, roll. Yeah, I'm
Oof.
definitely spending some, aren't I?
Well, no, I mean, your blasting skill is high, right?
S plus 3. That's 8. That's my score. That's total, including
Oh,
the plus
the total was 8. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's up to you.
3. But I can spend a resolve and get
Or a
a
soldier,
automatic
yeah.
success, and that's my bag. So I shall definitely do that.
Okay, so you probably, as Kylia is protesting,
Yeah.
why don't you go ahead and give us a protest as you see Mercy pull out this grenade and look at Wraith like with, I'm imagining a peaked eyebrow, armit.
I was just like, no.
And there it goes down the hall.
All the blood drains out of Wraith's face, neck, shoulders,
like-
arms, hands.
Get cover! Move!
Yeah.
Barrow just casually leans away from the hole.
Yeah. I shall do the same. Fingers in ears.
Being all cool, like.
So everybody looks away from the hole,
Yeah.
and it's a good thing because after a moment there is a massive thump and explosion. Um, you're largely behind blast doors, and any kind of sonic blast would have hit the blast door and been funneled through the opening. So if
Yeah.
anybody's face was in that space
Ooh.
in that moment, that would have been bad.
Suntan. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you can all feel the shockwave kind of pass by in your gut, and you look back out in the hallway, and the hallway is damaged. Um, Difficult to say whether or not it's hurt the integrity of the ship overall. I mean, it is a largely interior corridor, um, but definitely needs some repairs at some point. Although, it is, you'll be able to go through. It's not like anything's caved in or anything. It's just, man, there's a lot of damage and holes rent in the sides of the wall.
Yeah.
Not to mention quite a
Good.
few Imperium troopers now just kind of laying on the ground. Most of them appear to be immobile. A few are still kind of flailing's not the right word, uh, but they appear to be mobile and in great deals of pain, just kind of writhing on the ground, as you would expect
Yeah.
after a very powerful explosive device in their vicinity. No more blaster shots coming down the hall, though.
Well, that's nice. I'll step through
Yeah.
the gap.
Well, that's nice.
Hmm.
So yeah, what do you do now?
I make my way down the corridor. Now I'm just kind of stepping over these folks that are um laying on the floor and what have you. I don't know what Wraith is gonna do, but I suspect.
Oh my! He just loves to make me work. He really does.
There are 16 troopers in
Yeah.
the hall.
Nobody got time for that.
Easily, at least half of them are clearly immobile. The ones close to the heavy blaster, which is wrecked. Like it is no longer. Its repulsor lift is no longer functioning. It's on the ground. It's bent and rent in ways that indicate that it would not be functional at this point.
Wow. What
Just
the
leave,
hell?
can't just leave them there.
So who's gonna make the phone call?
Um, Blackwood? I guess. I mean, you're the guy
Oh,
that wants to.
I would have been able to get these troopers to listen to me, perhaps, but maybe you should talk to him about the device, the cube.
Who's he looking at? Is he looking at Wraith? Oh, Kayla.
Oh, he's just kind of looking at all of
Okay.
you.
Rate's
He
going
looks
to be
he
busy
looks
for
a little
while.
put out that you just kind of blew this very powerful grenade in the middle of a ship that he was hoping to fly out of here with. He's kind of
Yeah.
looking at the walls, like, ugh,
Same.
I hope. Probably in a similar way that Kylie is looking at the walls, I would imagine.
Just looking at the damage, just saddened.
I can imagine she's thinking, like, as long as one of the airlocks still works, so I can kick the Mercy out of it.
um.
I mean, to be fair, she's probably used to this feeling doing the few jobs with Mercy and
Oh, that's true.
and
Hang on a
God,
minute. I
Wraith.
never blow things up.
It's just the
Really?
feeling of disappointment.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I mean, we just got to get him off the ship, right?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine. I mean, I've got to. I imagine he might be coming to check out what the big noise was.
So, as you guys are talking about this and kind of moving into the hall and heading down, first of all, is Rafe attempting to stabilize any of these troopers?
Of course.
Okay. So, as they're kind of chit-chatting about the state of the ship and what to do about this dark night, I'm imagining just kind of rushing from body to body and doing quick checks.
The ones I can help, I will help.
You're
The
able to
Damn it, Ray.
stabilize.
They were about to
The-
fill us with
The
holes with this
ones I
damn
can't
thing.
help, I will help in other ways.
You're able to stabilize 4 of them. Do you remove any helmets to do so?
If I have to, as long as it doesn't peel their face off.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna have to remove helmets and check condition. I mean you got to get past the armor, right?
Definitely.
So contrary to what you may have been thinking, they're not clones, although they are all young. Male and female. In a couple of cases, some of the unfortunately passed away troopers are human-like races, but somewhat different. Um, it appears that the Imperium will employ just about anybody who can fit into the armor, as it were. So you don't see any of the larger sentient races or any of the races that have like large head uh, things, horns, and things like that. But there are some near humans in there as well. But yeah, without a doubt, they are all very young. And depending upon how much interaction with the Imperium you've had, it is relatively, well, I wouldn't say well known, but I think assumed a lot of people that the Imperium, when they take a colony or a city, they will essentially press gang the young into becoming troopers, brainwash them, so the story goes, make them troopers. This might be some evidence of that. But regardless, you save 4, and they are kind of in the same condition as um, the young woman in the engineering section. And by the time you wrap up saving the last one that you can, and Mercy and Kylia and Blackwood are having a discussion about what to do about the Dark Knight, you suddenly feel through your feet a rumbling.
Like we're taking off.
Kylie is pretty sure this ship isn't moving yet.
Yeah, no,
Does
it's
Mercy ask that out loud?
Yeah, yeah.
no.
Yeah.
We're not ready to move yet.
What the hell is that? Earthquake?
Something coming into land?
Nah, no, the
The
doors were shut.
doors in the roof opening?
Maybe. I mean,
Tribbles?
triples.
Dire tribbles. The worst
And
ones.
maybe those. What about those repair things out there? Could they? I don't know. Are they?
Maybe they're coming to fix the corridor.
So, as the
Okay,
rumbling
a rumble.
continues, and it is continuing as you're having this conversation,
Is it getting louder?
it's not.
Okay.
Good question, though. No, it's pretty steady, and does not seem to be increasing in volume. Although the longer it goes on, you are feeling kind of a resonance to where you're almost becoming like tactile blind to it, because it's just continuing. It's there. It's not stopping, but it's not so much that it's consuming your sensation, as it were. Regardless, Blackwood is looking at all of you and like, are we going to go talk to him directly, or do you think we should just use a communicator?
I mean, you didn't want to talk to him directly, but
I certainly don't. You'll probably attack me on sight.
I, I think communicate is going to be fine. So is there any windows or anything we can look out of, or would it just be on the ship like this just by sensor alone?
Thank you. The only place you're going to get a good view of what's going on outside the ship is the bridge.
The bridge, of course. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pull up the communicator and just like nod at Mercy. And I'm gonna try and contact the Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's fine. You can basically like set your communicator to just be like wideband, so that anybody in the vicinity, even the ship's communication network, could pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just pick it up as I am. I'm trying to get the Dark Knight, or whatever. You there? Can you hear me?
So you hear a familiar kind of gravelly voice return and say, "What are you doing to my ship?"
Hey, that rumbling isn't us. I don't know what it is.
Are you still with the old man? Do you have the cube?
We don't have the cube.
Blackwood's like doing like the hand wave in front of his throat, like, "Don't mention me."
No, we don't have the cube. We didn't. We've only recently found out what you were after and why our lives were put at stake. But we don't have it in our possession anymore.
Where is it?
It is below. It's below the flight deck. It's in the what you would call the engineering bay. It's used to power up the whole building. It is actually powering it up right now.
So it was you that powered up the defenses.
Uh-oh.
Well, they came on when we put the cube in.
Oh, that's a good lie. Why don't you give me a diplomacy check there?
I mean, I'm sure that's okay.
They did
No.
indeed. They came on. I just so happened
Oops.
I was like leaning on a console with my elbow on a certain button. It was a complete and utter accident.
You gonna spend to pass that or take the fail?
I'll spend one to just pass. I'll take the hit on this one, I think.
Oh, okay. So, all right, he says, how can I believe it is where you say it is?
Use your scanners. The energy source, it gives off a signal. The signal not like anything else you generally get. So use your scanners. You'll find it. The energy source is there. Like,
So you hear like some clacking of him using the consoles. And then he says, "Very well. I'll remember you." and cuts the comm. Now, here's what happens very quickly, and since Dippy has been in the systems, I'll say that he's found a way to monitor them wirelessly. The ship is put on standby again,
Ooh.
Oh,
and you assume that that means that he had, has the control to do that from the bridge. He, whether or not he exits the ship, you really have no way of knowing unless you
unless we go and check where he was.
had.
Is there a way that we can take the ship off standby without him knowing?
Without
If
him knowing?
if he's
Without
not
him
on the
knowing,
ship,
Yeah, if he's-
using,
I mean, if he's not on the ship, he won't know.
yeah.
using our incredible super robot.
If he's not on the ship, he won't know. But you're gonna have to
We have to
do it
find out
either
that he's not on
from
the ship.
back in the engineering or head up to the bridge.
Well, I think at this point, if we are going to continue with Blackwood's plan, then the bridge is the next port of call if he's going to try and take command.
It's gonna be, isn't it?
Are you gonna go immediately, or are you gonna give him a little bit of time to get off the ship?
Oh, yeah.
If that's what he's doing.
We're assuming that he's going to go and check it out. Yeah, I'm going to give him.
So, how far away is the bridge?
I mean, you're at the aft, like the sheer rear of the ship, and he's at the far front of the ship. So I mean, the main airlock, as it were, is kind of amidships.
So if we both
On
if we all
this
set up
this deck,
at the same time, we'll able to bump into each other
right?
near the yellow, right?
I mean, hopefully we
Right.
can bump into him, see him using the airlock.
You could if
Oh.
you wanted to try.
Could we send Dippy out as a recon unit?
No.
You could. Well, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Could we
Tony
send
could.
Vero out as a recon unit? He
Vera's
wouldn't
like,
do it, would
I'm
he?
not going by myself.
He
wouldn't
made
do it.
he definitely made a rod for his own back.
Ah, no. See, Vero saying that. Mercy says, I'll go.
I'll do it.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like
So-
like Wraith. Wraith will nod knowingly and say something encouraging along the lines of Muppet.
So, does Mercy head off down the corridor?
yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Stealthy?
This means I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
yeah, I guess he's
go.
going to be kind of stealthy.
I mean, you've
Means
been
I'm
through that
gonna
area. You could probably
follow him.
attempt to find a position to get like a look on the security station to see if he goes by.
Yeah, I think that's what he's intending to do.
Okay.
Do you need me to make another roll?
Well, it depends. Is anybody going with you?
so you're
'Cause,
going.
I mean, if you guys go with him, he's a specialist at instinct. Nobody else is.
No,
So
I trust him.
I think it's one of them. We'll probably attempt to make our way towards the bridge, but I would imagine to catch him, to get caught up or see him or anything, Mercy would have to move quicker
let
than we were.
Mercy move ahead of you. Okay,
Yes.
that's fair. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and give me an instinct roll, Mark?
Okay. Uh-oh. Come on now.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Oh, look at that.
nice.
Ooh.
So yeah, you find a chamber that is close to the security station, just past that kind of junction, where you're able to hole up in like the door jam essentially, and watch. And yeah, not long after you get yourself in a position, you see the very familiar lizard-like features in dark robes, kind of not running, but moving at a clip, head past you. Why don't you give me a diplomacy check?
Diplomacy. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna use diplomacy for like reading people.
Oh, okay. Like an empathy type thing.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
This is going to go really well.
It's gonna be fine. It's a
That's
9.
not bad.
That's not bad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a pass.
Yeah.
So he, I don't know that you've had much engagement with this particular species, but there's something about his face and his gait that looks worried.
Oh.
But he does go past you out of the airlock. You can hear the airlock cycling. The ship is still powering down. And yeah,
Okay.
eventually, well, not eventually, relatively quickly, Kylia and Blackwood and Wraith and Vero catch up to you.
Okay. Ooh. What I'd like to do next is shut the outer door,
Uh-huh.
and I want to overpressurize the airlock if I
Okay.
can. If I can do that. And I'll tell you why.
I think I know why, but go ahead.
Because when if he decides to turn back and try to get in and use his laser sword on the airlock door,
Uh-huh.
I want him to experience a little bit of explosive decompression.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you basically just set up a trap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, are you gonna try to do this,
I
or are
mean,
you gonna ask Kylia to do it?
I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So maybe I just kind of turn around to Kayla and say, overpressurize the airlock. Give it, I don't know, 3 atmospheres or something like that.
What? Really?
Yeah. Trust me.
Okay. Yes, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Just throwing my brows at Mercy, just like
with your
okay.
with your tools rating, it's very easy to set up. It's just tweak a couple of things. I would have made Mercy roll, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Engineering
I just look at
capabilities
Wraith.
Yeah,
are
there's
Yeah.
kind of an amber warning now flashing on the interior airlock door.
Yeah. It says Wraith. It's an old trick that somebody once told me when we're doing some anti-boarding routines back in the academy.
very useful, these things.
So the main entrance is trapped, essentially. What now?
To the bridge.
Blackwood has just continued down the corridor.
Yeah.
You think we better catch up with him?
Yeah, I don't trust that guy.
To
No.
the safe distance.
Hey, I don't
Just in
trust
case.
you.
He kind of looks back over his shoulder while he's walking and just shrugs, winks at you. So yeah, you get to the bridge. Again, as you travel, there's a couple more spots where there's some indication that there was an initial resistance against the Dark Knight, but he really quelled that and managed to cow the rest of the troopers into submission.
Ooh.
But there are no troopers on the
Interesting.
bridge. It looks like he sent the entire contingent down to check the engineering room when
Oh,
he
wow.
realized the ship was no longer powering up.
Yeah. We'll fool him.
So or confident, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't make him less a fool. So the bridge is empty.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Now, as you all make your way onto the bridge, what is everybody doing? I want to know that first. Like, what are your intentions? What's your goal?
I have no idea what is going on at this moment. 'Cause I do not know how to fly a ship of this size, so I'm just looking around waiting for somebody to tell me
Okay.
to do something.
So I will keep that in mind. What's everybody else doing? Vero is hanging by the door.
I think Mercy's looking out of the window to see if he can spot a figure moving amongst the moving about in the hangar there. That's what he's trying
Kind
to
of
do.
looking down into the
Yeah, have a look
hangar.
around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough. What's Kylia doing?
Well, I'm going to pause for a second and see what Blackwood actually does.
Blackwood heads to the main engineering console on the bridge.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to grab another console.
All right.
Check on the status. Basically, can check on the status of the ship.
Right. So everybody is focused on something other than Wraith. Wraith is looking around, and as you look around, because there is quite, a nice view screen's not the right word. I mean, it's a canopy, right? And there are places where you can look down, which Mercy is kind of looking down, and you do spot kind of a dark figure on the far end of the chamber, right? It's quite far, but he is moving quickly. And you so anyway, Wraith sees Mercy kind of peering out the side, and as Wraith kind of steps up and looks around, you also happen to look up, and you notice that the rumbling is still there. You've forgotten about it, maybe, by now, but it's still there. And as Wraith looks up, he sees that you can see the sky.
Ooh.
Whoa.
So
Oh dear.
Blackwood immediately says, he's locked it.
What?
Locked what?
He's hacked some kind of a bypass or restriction in place. I can't bring the ship off standby.
Hey, that's no problem, right? I'm looking at Kayla when I say that.
I just look at Dippy and Dippy, go and see what you can do, please.
Dippy kind of looks up at you and is like, just me? Like, you get that sense from his beeps.
I will help you in a second. I'm just doing the scans to see how much damage has actually been done to the ship, whether it's worth.
Oh, you're doing a scan. Okay, so Dippy heads over to help Blackwood. Give me a roll for Dippy.
That's what I mean. I was wanted to check on the ship. So Dippy transport.
It's at disadvantage though. So 3 dice. Take the 2 lowest.
Okay.
Blackwood's not exactly an engineer. Neither.
Take the lowest.
So you can spend resolve for Dippy if you want.
Yeah, I'll spend resolve for Dippy.
Okay.
Cruise.
So yeah, Dippy and Blackwood managed to bypass the Dark Knight's hack and get the power up going again. And according to the console, it's going to take a few more minutes. It was already getting close. As you're using the scanner to scan the ship, you notice a couple of things. One, the ship is still tight. It is still flight worthy. It will probably need some repairs at some point.
Yeah.
But, so long as there's no, just like with the bulkhead door in engineering, so long as there's no serious emergencies in that section, you should be fine.
Okay.
Should be.
The next should be. Yeah.
It's always should on ships like this.
It's 100 years old. You can't expect perfection, right?
The next thing your scans indicate is that there are 4 large, impossibly large blips that are entering the atmosphere of the planet.
Of the planet.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, that literally, as soon as seeing that, I'll literally just exclaim guys, we have company.
Nah, he's not coming back yet. What do you know about this guy anyway?
No.
He looked really worried when he left the ship.
Blackwood looks over his shoulder and is like, I don't know, he's a fallen knight. He works for the Imperium. He's been trying to get a hold of that cube for a while. I took it from him. They're
Hmm.
just talking, not paying attention to you, Kylie.
There's ships have entered orbit.
What? That's ridiculous, Blackwood says.
There
There's no
are
ships in this sector.
There are four. I have four. I would assume ships on my sensors that have entered orbit of the planet.
Yeah, they're probably heading for the spaceport, right?
So if you look again, no, it looks like they're coming here.
No. The trajectory says that they're gonna come here. I don't know. I'm guessing he called for backup. We're
So
sat in an
Blackwood
Imperial
comes over
ship.
to your console,
Yeah.
and he looks at the scans. He's like, those aren't Imperium ships.
Oh my god!
I look at Ray.
This.
What?
Flashing light on the console.
Wait, what?
There's not. Oh my god! Oh.
So another blip suddenly appears on your screen, Kylia. It's just as large as the other ones. It looked like it just came out of hyperspace, essentially.
Okay.
And then as that blip catches your attention and you look back to the scanner, hyperspace.
Yeah, there's quite a few people.
I think that's what we call a fleet.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we don't want to be here when they arrive.
No. I mean, this ship. It's going to take a couple more minutes to get the ship going, and it'll take us even longer to get back up to the transport we had.
Make it go faster. I think we can forget the transport that we had right now.
You might be
So
able
the
to,
ship-
but I made a promise. Thank you.
As discussing, the ship does indicate, I mean, it's not like there's a buzzer or ring or anything, but the ship is now fully powered. It is ready for takeoff.
Okay.
Okay.
Right then, who knows how to pilot this thing?
Well,
Blackwood says, I do.
Do we both just kind of like slowly turn our heads and look at Carrier?
Blackwood starts to move towards the captain's chair.
I still don't trust him to do anything successfully. By the way,
I don't
No.
know. Something different about him.
Yes, I'm gonna head over to the pilot console, I guess.
Yeah, there's like a
Yeah.
station. Yeah.
this would be a good time to sit down and buckle up.
Yeah, I
I'm
wanna-
I will direct them to sit in the seats where they are going to be needed.
Right. So
Oh,
you probably direct Mercy and Vero to weapons stations.
Yeah.
And I would imagine you probably tell.
I think it'd be a good idea if I went and kept an eye to make sure the escape captures are safe.
I was gonna say Kylie would probably direct you towards the engineering station because you are intelligent, right? You're
Yeah.
not a runt.
Well, I'm not.
You're a
I'm not.
doctor.
I'm not unintelligent.
Correct.
We have a dippy. It's fine.
Yeah.
If we've got a Dippy, it's fine. With me and him make a great team, Dippy and Dopey. It's good, right?
Dippy and Dippier.
In that case,
Whatever.
I'm running to engineering.
Okay.
There's a
So
station on the bridge.
No, there's a station on the bridge. That's where she would have directed.
That's what I mean.
Oh,
I would have
yeah,
directed you
engineering
to that
console on the bridge. Yeah,
that
yeah,
seat,
cool.
so you could strap in on the seat where you needed.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get to that escape capsule. Right. I shall strap myself in at the engineering capsule. Engineering station.
Or maybe scanners. Would you prefer to be at scanners?
Sensors of engineering.
Ooh.
What's your call, Captain?
Sensors.
Like what? Sensor
Okay.
station. The console that goes ping.
Yeah.
So Blackwood, recognizing that the crew is a little light, is like, I'll head over to engineering.
Yeah.
He
Hey, isn't it
reluctantly gets
lucky?
out of the captain's chair.
Dippy will go and
Isn't
sit
it
down
lucky
in it.
that I get to sit in the console behind you?
Always watching.
He looks over his shoulder with a bit of a grimace and then goes back to the console. So, what are you gonna do?
I guess we're gonna take off.
Playing sounds good.
Get 6 large readings entering orbit. No, I'm sorry, 7.
Oh,
No, 8.
No,
Oh.
we were happy with 6.
Stop right there. You can.
They always say more is better, but no, we were satisfied with 6. Thank you.
Okay. I'm checking
Yeah.
the weapon systems then.
Let me ask you
Right.
this question: how close did you park the truck to the rim of the quote crater?
We parked it behind some rocks.
Oh
we did.
no!
It's well hidden.
I remember we parked it behind some rocks, so it would be hidden.
I don't think we
So
did.
it's not right next to the edge.
It's not
No,
leaning over the edge.
it's
Oh,
close
that's
to the
too
edge.
bad. I wanted to do a cinematic like it fell in.
No, because I think isn't it close to the edge because we tied the rope
we
to
did.
it.
We used the rope.
Oh, you did
down.
have to tie the rope to it.
Yeah, there was like
wouldn't it be a
a
better
winch.
cinematic is as we go lifting out of the crater at full thrust, the band just kind of like tumbles away, rolling
Yeah.
rolling over and over until it hits a rock and explodes, and it's like fucking happy about that. Yeah.
The hangar bay is definitely open wide enough at this point for this ship to lift off
Where's Darth
and get
Handbag?
out. He's not on the ship.
And it's Darth Nice Shoes.
Well, I'd still call him Darth Lacoste, but they might get me for copyright. It's no, he's not in the ship, but he might be on the ship.
Well, I mean, now that you're all, you could check sensors. You can do life signs.
Yeah.
And he seemed pretty keen to go get that thing, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna trust these guys in the fact that he's gone. We don't have to worry about him anymore.
Yeah.
Stop laughing in that way.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we could get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll start the prep or whatever's needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's prepped. It's ready to go. You just need to start piloting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody hold on.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll go
Hold on to your butt.
We'll set
Why
off.
don't you give me a transports roll to successfully pilot this thing pretty much straight up and out. There you go. So yeah, you can definitely feel the rumble now of the engines of this particular ship and the anti-grav kicking in. As it does so, the inertial dampers kick in, so you stop feeling that almost instantly. And as the ship lifts off from the floor of the hangar, you also lose that sense of the rumbling of the upper doors. You assume is creating that as they open. As you slowly lift up, assuming you're being relatively careful.
Yeah.
Okay. The doors continue to open, and you notice now at this point that the doors have opened about to the limit of what the crater would have been, and they're still opening. Obviously, to make way for a ship much larger than your own.
Yeah.
And you do see a particular truck just kind of in the distance falling down the shaft of this impossibly huge alien structure
Oh, damn it.
as you crest the surface level and bring your ship up out of the depths and into what is a relatively normal morning. Although now at this point you can see with your eyes 11 large ships that look very similar to the one that you left down below in the hangar, closing on your position. At this point, now that you're out of the depths of the chamber, your scanners are also picking up a wider range of information because this is an Imperial assault vessel. It has quite strong sensors. And Wraith, whether or not you pass this on to everybody else or not is up to you. But it looks like as many as 6 or 7 similarly sized ships are also closing in on the Shadowport location.
Oh no!
Oh dear! Oh my god! It's an invasion.
I
Um,
mean,
Once you get past the readings of those large ships, you're also seeing many, many smaller readings of ships that are fleeing from all over the surface.
yeah.
Yeah.
On the plus side, your friend's not going to be worrying about that truck.
I we'll see about that.
Oof. Imagine we escape across escape across the galaxy. The ship lands. The door opens. The first thing his voice goes like, "Oi, where's my truck?"
Well, I mean, you never know. Maybe he
Yeah,
escapes.
yeah. There's a lot of ships out there coming in our
Uh-huh.
direction.
There's a lot. I mean, you probably stop counting after you hit the 30s and 40s of ships fleeing
Oh, okay. So people are
Oh
leaving
well.
at least.
of various different sizes. Yeah. Um,
Uh,
while you're looking at your sensors, you also kind of, you know, just trying to do your job to the best of your ability. Look at one of the screens to the side of the primary sensors, and this particular screen has a series of kind of green dots on it. And kind of a wireframe representation of the ship. So you're assuming that that's like a life science detector, right, for the ship.
Mm.
Yes.
And currently, it is picking up, as mentioned before, like 16 life signs on the exterior of the ship. Minor problem, not anything you have to worry about. You imagine they're
Minox.
probably just Minox, right?
Mm.
Somebody will at some point have to go out there and clear them off. You're reading the life signs of the 2 people in engineering and the 4 people in the corridor of engineering. And you're also reading 3 life signs that are in the corridor outside of engineering, or outside of the infirmary, rather.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh
Oh.
no.
I think your friends have woken up.
We've stolen them. We've kidnapped them. Oh shit.
And as you're seeing that, your ship, Kylia, pilots it. I'm assuming you're going to try to avoid some of the larger ships.
Yeah.
So you're piloting up, and well, it's up to you. Are you going to head back towards the city, or are you going to leave the planet? What do you think? You're the pilot.
I think at this point, seeing that other people are going away from the port, essentially just gonna just kind of join the crowd, I guess, and at
Okay.
least get into orbit.
Right.
That's the aim.
So you're a relatively large ship, easily noticeable, unless this is an Imperium assault ship. Um, it does have cloaking technology.
ooh.
Would you like to activate
Oh yeah, if it can do that, yeah. Let's
it?
do
Okay.
that. Let's be sneaky as fuck, boy.
So you activate your cloak, and you start to head out. Right, you head up and out. As you're traveling out, you're not being accosted for some strange reason. Maybe these vessels can't penetrate your cloak. Maybe it's a technology they're not familiar with. But what you do see as your ship leaves orbit, leaves atmosphere and then leaves orbit, is there are more of these large ships dropping out of hyperspace. You're also seeing some of the smaller ships, a freighter here, a larger repurposed assault vessel there, what appears to be like a repair like barge over there. These ships are actually being caught by the incoming alien vessels and
Oh,
drawn into the alien vessels because none of these ships even compare in size. But some are getting away.
um, who's scanning? Who spotted the life signs down by the
Wraith.
med bay?
that's me. I
Do
did
you
say
say
your friends
anything
had
about it?
woken up. I did say your friends had woken up.
Yeah, so we'll say that you mentioned that just as we're now getting outside of orbit and
Do
getting
you remember
past these
those
ships.
3 dead aliens in the med bay? Well, they're not dead anymore.
Yeah. What?
And
There are
I
three.
think,
There are
hang on,
3 life signs.
I think Mercy's what is where we'll end it.
Oh,
Ah,
that's fucking amazing.
to be continued.
As
Fuck
you
with
travel out into the universe at large, leaving an alien invasion behind you, possibly with a small alien invasion on your ship,
Yeah.
and some Imperium troopers and a drummed out Imperium officer on the ship with you.
Pretty sure once they've healed up, we can
See,
repurpose the Imperial
it
troopers.
sounds like a victory condition to me. Um.
I mean,
Oh well,
yeah.
that's cool. That's a great ending, and leaves it open for possibly season 2.
Yeah, we'll call that the end of season 1.
So he can't leave his console, but he's got to get that coffee somehow.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I feel that.
It's important. It's important.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
Coffee.
And is it 5
So I'm
points for
not
a new
quite sure
talent?
about the.
in the-
I'm not
Is.
quite.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, for the abilities, can they go above 3?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It would just cost you 8 points to go to 4.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I
Yeah,
thought
because
that,
I
I was
spent.
like, that doesn't. If you can only stick at 3. So, was it just character creation?
I
You couldn't go more
can.
than 3?
Yes.
Correct. Character
Right.
creation, you are limited to 3, yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oops. Oh god.
I could do
I
with
think actually I think there is a limit
Oh damn it.
after character creation as well, but I think that's mainly because
Zoom
the
out. There
game
we
gets
go.
kind of unstable if you're super high.
Yeah.
Could be wrong though. Let me check. Actually, it doesn't say there anything about that. I guess if you just wanted to dump all of your destiny into abilities, you could just get crazy good at everything and
Yep.
not have any talents.
Hang on a minute. Innate talents. Breather. Got to be quite honest. Breathing is quite useful.
That's
Yeah.
if you wanted to make like an alien species, you would
Like,
breathe something other than standard atmosphere.
it's like comprehension. It's like innate talent, comprehension. Wait, those were the droids we were looking for.
Oh, actually, it's interesting. So it's basically just to identify yourself as a species that doesn't breathe standard atmosphere. The talent is actually
Yeah.
free,
Oh.
but the downside is you need to wear a breather to survive in standard atmospheres. But the breather makes you immune to gaseous diseases, drugs, and toxins. So you're essentially a man. What's the name of that race from Star Wars?
I don't know.
I will think of it.
Yes.
Keldor, wear breathers. There was another one too. But yeah, Gand. That's it. Gand. Wear breathers as well.
Mm.
Something can be told is this humongous, like massive, muscly wall of meat of an alien with fists the size of tin hams, who unfortunately breathes an atmosphere, is based on helium. So he comes up to you and goes like, "I'm going to beat you up." It'd be amazing. Ah,
Well, no, see, I'm sure they would
it'd be
tweak
fantastic. Oh my god.
they would tweak the speakers of their breather to make themselves sound more
Yeah.
intimidating, or at least get
Come
the
on, I love you.
Mando voice that my wife loves.
What a great character it'd be.
There is no woman who is attracted to men that can resist that point. I didn't think I was attracted to robots, but I am.
Yeah, she's not super into what's his name, but she loves the sound of his voice in that helmet.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Are you sure it's not just the helmet?
Surprisingly, she finds it relatively, like, she says she can read his emotions even when wearing the helmet more easily than she can most people if they're not wearing a helmet. And I tend to agree. I think he's able to emote quite well. I think they did a really good job with that show, personally. The Mandalorian.
I've only watched a few episodes of that.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I saw series 1, series 2. Is there a series 3? No.
So there's season 1 and 2. There's season 2.5, which is the end of the Book of Boba Fett. Like the last 3 or 4 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, and then there's season 3. And then that's probably it. Actually, it's looking like the season 4 is going to focus on Bo-Katan rather than Din Djarin.
The only two things I really remember about Mandalorian is when they're taking that alien with their like bucket full of eggs to go and see her husband, and Grogu's
eating them all. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fight where he's fighting alongside that bounty hunter robot. Because I'm just like, yes, that's how robots should fight. Like, don't build them like Terminators. Build them spindly and they can fire in every direction.
Yeah, assassin droids are great. Yeah, I need to watch that again soon. I love me some Mando. I love Star Wars. Oh, did you guys hear the good news about Star Wars?
No?
Disney
Dave
sold
Filoni is the creative director now of Star Wars. Everybody thinks he's going to save the brand. I mean, I thought they were doing okay anyway, but yeah.
That's like Kathleen Kennedy's not doing it anymore.
This is how I do with movies. Who's Dave Filoni?
So Dave Filoni is he basically did he took part in some of the more recent Star Wars shows like The Mandalorian. He and Jon Favreau were the minds behind The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. But he is also the one who did like the Clone Wars cartoon, like all the cartoons essentially are Dave Filoni, and people think those are amazing. I've never seen them, but from what I've heard, if he's now the creative director, I think we're going to get some really friggin' good movies and TV shows from this point on. Not that they haven't been good. I've enjoyed all of them on various levels. I think Andor is amazing. Andor is actually I like Andor more than The Mandalorian.
Yes, I think
my
I
wife
agree with
just made an audible gasp.
that.
I'm not saying I don't like The Mandalorian. But yeah, Andor. I can't wait for Andor season 2. Like,
unfortunately, that is the last one. They're only doing 2, aren't they, of Andor?
I know, but it makes sense. I mean, that story's already over. If you've seen Rogue One.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You see, might actually be my favorite Star Wars movie as well.
It is 100% my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's such a good one.
And I have friends that are like, "What about Empire?" I'm like, "Empire's good, but Rogue One's better.
Rogue One.
It just is."
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But why did Mon Mothma lie?
To whom? What?
Which time? To whom?
Yeah, because she's a politician. She can't help it.
In the first Star Wars, yes, when they take the when R2 like gives her the Death Star plans, she says that hundreds of Gungans have died. To
No,
bring them that
no,
information.
no. That's Return of the Jedi, and it's Bothans,
But it might be
Yep,
both of them.
it's
then.
and
Bothans.
it's not Rogue One. Everybody think it's Rogue
Yeah.
One. It's not the
Right.
first Death Star. It's the second one.
Yeah, and I think at
can-
most they mention, with regards to the first Death Star plans, I think at
But
most they
do you-
mention a lot of lives were lost to get these plans,
Right.
Yeah.
which is accurate.
But you know
Um,
the worst thing about Rogue One, you know that bit at the end where like they're fighting for their lives and all the lights go off and the door opens and the
Sure.
Falcon.
That's the worst thing.
You
That's
just
the
hear
best
that noise that goes.
thing.
Whoa.
That's an amazing scene. Are you kidding
That
me?
is Anakin Skywalker, and he's bitching inside his helmet that he doesn't want to be there and he's unhappy, and Palpatine doesn't respect him.
I mean, I don't know about that. That's funny.
It's like Anakin Skywalker. It's like Darth Vader.
Actually, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one scene in all of Star Wars that's better than that.
What did they do to Anakin?
Yeah.
What did they do to Darth Vader?
Yeah, it's I'll just say it's the scene at the end of The Mandalorian season 2.
Oh, okay, fair.
Mirrors that scene, but is better for personal reasons.
I have posted
Mm.
updated Wraith in Black Star.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
don't
see
know
Mark
what I
looking
actually
at
think.
stuff.
to
Does
say.
anybody
There
need
was
to look at
cinema
anything? Or I mean, you could always hang on to the 5 in case you wanted to increase some skills the next time we play. You don't have to spend it all.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I think I would just leave it as that for now, because.
And I mean, you guys are enjoying this, so I promise we will come back to this. Like, let me get a season of something else in, and then
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
come back to this.
Yeah,
I'll say
yeah.
that. Okay.
Be good.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
like Star Wars, but I'm also just feeling that urge for some old school fantasy.
Yeah. That's cool. Right. I'm gonna shoot.
I need a skill description, Brian.
Okay, which one?
Quick draw to start with. I might need a couple.
Oh,